What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including issues backstage in WWE. Are we getting a new Raw GM? William Regal calls out talent. Is a spinner belt coming back to WWE? Nia Jax shows off her weight loss. Is Mick Foley AEW-bound? Are WWE merging titles? And much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now first story looks at issues backstage in WWE. Now the top story today looks at the rumors that there is bad blood between Triple H and Bruce Pritchard. As we all know, Pritchard was one of Vince McMahon's closest allies, and when Triple H took over WWE Creative, Pritchard managed to keep his executive role within the company. With that being said, there have been rumors for years that the two don't see eye to eye. Now Pritchard has finally shut these rumors down. Speaking on his podcast, this is what the artist formerly known as Brother Love stated. "I have nothing to hate him for, and in all the times we worked together prior to coming back, and look, I can't speak for him, I don't know, but I do know how he treated me. He always treated me well. So he was a top talent and obviously married in, but if he had married Betty down the street, he'd still be in the same position he is in today because he still has those qualifications. He still has that love and that desire for the business. That's what I appreciate as well. We do share the same love and appreciation for the business. We always did. That's the thing, that is 100% just rumor gossip." Now, Pritchard continued by stating that he has no idea where these rumors came from, and people just want to create animosity between him and the head of WWE Creative. Any perceived hard feelings? I don't even know where they were to come from, because there weren't any, so there wasn't that opportunity to do that. Working with him as a talent, for me, I loved it. It was fun to work with. People want to create animosity, want to create all these things that simply aren't there. They've never done it, so they don't understand what comes with it. And yes, we are human beings, and yes, there are times where things don't go your way. You get angry, you get pissed, and you're upset about things. Now, will this officially shut down the rumors that the two dislike each other? Well, probably not, but it's not as if Pritchard is going to come out and reveal that he personally dislikes the man that keeps him in his current position. But it's rather interesting that the noise surrounding the rumors have become so loud that Pritchard really felt the need to publicly address it. Next up, are brand exclusive PLEs returning? Now, could brand exclusive PLEs be returning to WWE? All year, fans have been complaining that a lot of the key feuds and matches aren't featured on PLEs. This is predominantly down to WWE's obsession with just having 5 or so matches on a card, and this means that a lot of the matches that would traditionally be on a PLE are relegated to either Raw or SmackDown. For a lot of fans, the solution to this is rather simple: bring back brand exclusive PLEs. However, according to Fightful Select's latest Q&A offering, this won't be happening, as ESPN didn't pay for half a roster. They did not pay for half a roster on a PLE. What they did pay for, though, are basically 5 to 6 match PLEs. That's become the standard now. The answer continued by saying that reintroducing brand exclusive PLEs won't benefit anyone in the long run. Unless WWE is paid for those additional events, it wouldn't serve them well to do them. They've got a set minimum number of events they do with ESPN, and unless ESPN comes along and says, well, we'll expand this deal and you can do this, there's really nobody that benefits. Now, the pros and cons of brand exclusive events always leads to major discourse amongst fans. The concept was first introduced during the Ruthless Aggression era, and while some shows were well received, some of the pay-per-view output, particularly in 2004, was less than stellar. WWE were forced to fill shows with random squash matches and shows that belonged on Sunday Night Heat. Naturally, due to the modern day PLEs only having 5 or 6 matches, this may not be an issue, but the brand split is only loosely enforced anyway, so the endeavor may be completely pointless. Ultimately, it's unlikely that WWE amends their PLE model anytime soon. The aim of PLEs in 2025 and beyond is to feature as many advertisements as possible, and the amount of matches is solely due to the commercial breaks as well as their own internal promotions. Next up, William Regal calls out talent. William Regal has the wrestling world talking, as a current WWE employee took to X to urge wrestlers to take care of themselves, particularly when it comes to taking bumps on their neck. Regal wrote an extended post on the platform, and one of the most crucial lines stated wrestlers need to stop this kind of bumping immediately if they want a good quality of life after wrestling. Stop it now if you want a decent quality of life after wrestling, because that part of your life will be over before you know it, and wrestling done right is hard enough, but broken necks or death are not something you should think is tough or cool. It's idiotic thinking. Now, a lot of AEW fans have assumed that Regal is taking aim at AEW talent, as there were a number of instances during World's End of wrestlers landing right on their necks and heads. But Regal evidently didn't post this to start an AEW versus WWE war, but unfortunately, this is what things turn into on social media every day. AEW fans are questioning why Regal didn't call out names such as Bron Breakker for landing on their head, but it's worth pointing out that Regal currently works backstage in WWE, so if he sees issues, he can instantly call them out. Regal no longer works in AEW, so he isn't in a position to correct or send warnings if he feels a spot or particular bump is dangerous. At the end of the day, Regal was just trying to help, and the fact that he had to turn comments off the post speaks volumes. Next up, Nia Jax shows off her weight loss. Sadly, Nia Jax admitted to Charlotte Flair in a previous interview that she's been uncomfortable in her own skin. As she told Metro UK, Charlotte Flair is this larger-than-life character on screen, but at home she is just a sweetheart. I came to her and I told her how I felt. It was after our wedding and I was like, I don't feel comfortable in my skin. And she, nothing but positive, encouraged me, had my back, pushed me when I needed a push. Now, whilst Jax has shown off a much slimmer look upon her return to WWE, she's now concentrated further on her weight loss journey, sharing a selfie with her looking much slimmer. Next up is WWE merging titles. Now, throughout 2025, there have been endless complaints when it comes to the presentation and booking of the women's US title. The title has been a total afterthought, and it's almost as if WWE had no idea what to do with it. The title still hasn't been defended a single time on a PLE, and based on the current booking of the title, this is unlikely to change anytime soon. The same, however, can't be said for the Women's Intercontinental title. That particular title is featured every single week, and Becky Lynch working within that division has certainly elevated the title to new heights. Now, according to Sean Ross Sapp in a Fightful Select Q&A, WWE should merge the two titles, and he notes that the US title is abysmally booked. Yes, 100% yes. At no point ever has a company given care to the United States title. It exists just for a temporary title change with no creative put behind it. It's abysmally booked. Mishin and Chelsea Green had a great feud and felt like it was necessary to add two mid-card titles. I'd absolutely unify them and make it the golden ticket between Raw and SmackDown. Make that be why the title is special and why the champion views themselves on par with the world champion. Now, this would be a very smart move, and if WWE handles it right, a unification match could even take place at WrestleMania. But could a spinner title come back in WWE? Now, whilst we're on the subject of belts, after Carmelo Hayes won the US Championship on last week's edition of SmackDown, fans had noticed something interesting about his past comments. Before this huge win, Hayes had actually mentioned back in 2023 that if he ever became US Champion, he would like to bring back the spinner version of the title belt, the design made famous by John Cena during his Dr. Orthogonomics gimmick. And when reminded of that old comment on social media following his recent title victory, Hayes replied with a single emoji teasing that the idea might still be alive. What do you think? Should Hayes bring back the US spinner title? Next up, a new Raw GM incoming. Now, we already mentioned the fact yesterday that Chris Jericho's AEW contract expires on 31st December, but could he be about to take on a new role in WWE? Jericho is widely expected to return to WWE programming next month, but according to former WWE star Jonathan Coachman, WWE should book Jericho to replace Adam Pearce as Raw GM. No one is talking about what role he would play. We haven't seen him wrestle in months. He's one of my favorites of all time, but if I'm using him the best way, I'd get rid of Pearce and out Jericho in the authority role, which he would absolutely crush. The backstage in-ring name promos would be awesome. He doesn't need to be a top in-ring talent because he would need to wrestle at least 3-4 times a month. I'm not sure if he wants to or can perform a high level. Now, it's unlikely that Jericho doesn't wrestle in his next run, and a Royal Rumble match appearance should be expected. Or that being said, when Jericho does decide to call it a day and retire from in-ring competition, the GM role would be a great fit for him, as he is a great talker and he knows how to interact with talent up and down the card. Next up, MJF reveals a huge regret. The new AEW World Champion MJF recently appeared on Mostly Sports, and the talented star revealed that one huge regret that he has is that he never got to wrestle WWE icon John Cena. Yes, absolutely, I think there is a different world where that match would have happened. Unfortunately, it's not this one. I've had so many incredible run-ins with John where we've shot the shit. He's an incredible guy, he watches our product, he's seen my stuff, he was very complimentary. Cena watching the AEW product is a new revelation for sure, and it's great to see that Cena and MJF have such a strong relationship outside the pro wrestling industry. Next up, a WWE star set for a huge push. Jacob Fatu is currently out of action having a dental procedure, but according to a new report from Bodyslam Plus via Patreon, WWE wants the former US champion to have a breakthrough year in 2026. Sources indicate to Bodyslam that WWE wants Jacob Fatu to have a breakthrough year in 2026 and was set to slowly begin before he had to undergo dental surgery. Fatu is currently expected to return to WWE television in the early stages of 2026. Fans are theorizing that Fatu might make his return to WWE television during the Cody Rhodes vs Drew McIntyre 3 Stages of Hell match. As just remember, Fatu still has unfinished business with McIntyre dating back to September. And finally is Mick Foley AEW-bound. Our final story today takes a look at the possibility of Mick Foley being AEW-bound. Earlier this month, the hardcore legend formally cut ties with WWE due to their association with Donald Trump. But now there's been a ton of speculation that Foley could sign with AEW and make his debut for the promotion in the coming months. Sean Ross Sapp on Fightful Select's Q&A series addressed this, and this is what he had to say. Well, I know that Tony Khan really likes Mick Foley. That was specified to me right after that happened. I think there's always a possibility. I think Mick will probably be on screen though in some capacity. AEW signing Foley makes a ton of sense, especially as the product pushes boundaries when it comes to on-screen violence. It's unlikely that Foley wrestles in the match, but seeing him in a managerial role or even a referee would be a smart booking move. Foley also has experience in the commentary booth, so AEW may wish to utilize Foley in that role. And this time around, he won't have Vince McMahon screaming in his ear set every 5 seconds. Now, we've seen time and time again how AEW treats legends, so this could be the most sensible next step for Foley in his pro wrestling career. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.